Yeah, so all it is a track and trace where you have to put your like sort of email or what. When you don't have to put your email, you can just put in like your name, your address, and all that kind of stuff.
Before.
Yeah, like you've done before, like where you do stuff when you go into pubs. But anyway, guys and girls, welcome back. So, just saying to my mum about this track and trace thing that's going on. Right, it's going to be a big fail. It's already been a big fail from the very start because there's actually a flaw in that. Like, if people don't want to sort of go to the pub, put their names on, and all that, they could just say to the people in there, "Oh, I've done it. I've scanned it on there on the wall just as I come in." Right? And then that means then people could just go in there and lie about it and stuff and say they've had it done. Obviously, right? They end up, the pub people say, "Oh, well, I know you haven't had it done and stuff because you haven't scanned it." Well, how are they going to know if they've scanned it or not? The only people would know will be the National Health Service people or the doctors. And I think that's really bad. Right? I think also they're on about doing this, what's it called, passport thing. Also, what's this? COVID puts trade calls time on triple whammy on a new virus reopening rules. Now, I think, to be honest, I think it's way too early for them to start opening pubs up right now, because the shit's going on, right? Now, the thing is, right, when people used to have their flu jabs, there was loads and loads of people who had the flu jabs, right, way before this virus came around. And I've heard a lot of people say they still got the colds and flus with it and stuff. They still had the flu, they still had the sniffles and all this shit going with it. Now, it's not right. It's not going right. When you got this vaccine, yes, it will work to some extent, but you've got to realise you've got to have a good immune system for it to work. If you haven't got a good immune system to work with this vaccine in the first place, and I've just read now, apparently 7 people have just died with this new, with that, not what's it called, with blood clots, apparently. Just heard it on the news yesterday about it. See if I can find it. And there's a big flaw in that as well. Because, and it says there's 30 cases. That's at the moment. Apparently 30 odd million, I think 30 odd million people have had it in the UK. Well, that's still not enough people to have the thing. Just looking on the news about it, if I can find it. Every customer must sign in when pubs reopen. Well, we know a lot of people will say they've actually signed in when they haven't, unless they do it on paper, and they could do it on paper and then put it in that way. No, it says no vaccine passport needed for a pint in the pub. They were going to put a vaccine passport in there, but if you think about it, the younger people who haven't had the vaccine, and there's a lot of them, said they won't have it anyway. They won't be having that vaccine because they want to live free and not have to put out, because it's very small amounts. The youngsters, right? There have been talks that the younger generation are not getting the virus at all, or a lot of them are not getting it. It's like a very small percentage. The majority, actually, the majority of people who are actually getting this COVID stuff in the first place is people in their 80s and above. And obviously we're getting some people in their 50s, 60s and 70s. But don't forget, they've probably got some underlying issues, health issues. And it's like, yeah, we don't know what the hell's going on at the moment. And also the government won't tell us all of what's going on because they like to keep it all behind closed doors, so we don't know from them either. What rules we'll have to follow when pubs reopen? I think, to be honest, what's going to happen, right? We know that when we used to get the flu jabs, or people used to get the flu jabs, I've never had one myself. I would never touch the vaccines ever, at all, in a million years. But that's my preference. That is my preference. I'm not saying that you shouldn't get it, because that's all down to your people, you people out there, making up your own decisions about it. But the thing is, I've I've well, since last year, when they had the first thing come out and everyone's locked up, I haven't had much of a cold, haven't had much of a flu, haven't had much of a sinuses. It's just every so often you'll get allergies and stuff because of the weather and stuff and all that outside with the plants and flowers, but that's not avoidable in any means necessary thing. But it says, so April, after April, the 12th of April, pubs have been singled out once more with a, what's that, disproportionate regulation in comparisons to other sectors according to the Trade Association. Matt Hancock summoned to High Court to justify opening shops before pubs. Legal actions brought by nightclubs operators Satcher, Lord and Pizza Express boss Hugh Osmond to try to force the early opening of venues. So they want to do that before basically the pubs reopen up. Edinburgh pub owners heartbroken after vandals target newly redecorated bar. 10 of the best pubs UK gardens reopening soon. I'm telling you though, right? Obviously they're on about outside, which is a good thing, because there's actually talks that there's no thing about whether the virus can be caught outside, out and about. So that's why they want to do the pubs outside for the time being and see how that goes. But I think it's well too early to actually start opening up any pubs at all. Any pubs, nightclubs, bars or anything. And the reason is, right, if you think about it, guys and girls, right, logically, right, so last year, when they reopened up some of the pubs down here in Weston, for instance, I was actually sat in town and they had this load of people getting pissed outside. They're outside anyway, all outside. And they were just having a couple of drinks with each other, just necking it down them and stuff. Next minute, they're having arguments and fights outside. And I'm telling you, once everyone goes back to their normal ways, going to the pubs, and don't forget, actually, and this is the biggest problem, right? With the vaccines, yes, right, you can actually, like, once you've had the vaccine, apparently you're protected. Not necessarily, though. And actually you can protect other people as well once you have the vaccine. Not necessarily, and I'll tell you why. Because about a couple months going back, I did a video about it on my YouTube channel, over on my channel on here, so it should be something on here about it. Once you have that vaccine, it doesn't mean that your immune system is 100% protected. Because thing is, if you think about it, right, when you drink alcohol, what does that do? It actually gives you a cold, gives you some sinuses, gives you all kinds of stuff. All the bacteria from the alcohol goes into your liver, and it actually is the first thing it's going to do is it's going to go straight to your liver. Now, your liver is the most important part of your organs due to the fact that when you drink alcohol, guys and girls, right, because it's using your processor, which is the liver, your liver down here is actually the processor. Now, what is a processor? It's like a food blender. You're blending all those fluids up so it can actually digest into your digestive system a lot better, and that way you can actually feel much better. Now, it's a processor. It's you could say a food blender, or just a processor. It's processing all the actions. So all the alcohol goes straight to your body, and then basically your immune system will be actually impacting on that. And how your immune system works is, right, your immune system is supposed to protect you from viruses. It's supposed to protect you from colds. Now, once you drink alcohol, once it goes straight to your liver, right, which your liver is actually protecting a lot of parts of your body. That's why if you eat healthy foods and you keep a low minimum level of just eating in moderation, or if you're drinking in moderation, right, yes, it won't do any damage only in long term it will do damage, but short term it won't be doing as much damage. But if you're going out to the pubs and you're getting pissed, and then you're getting them to bar fights and stuff, and you're drinking, say, it's 10, 12, 15, 20 pints of alcohol, and don't forget, one to 2 units, you're looking at around 4 to 6 hours, probably 10 hours to digest through your liver. That is and then it has to go through to the bloodstream. Then your bloodstream gets up a little bit higher, and you start getting intoxicated and all this kind of stuff. That is really bad for your immune system. Your immune system will actually cease to exist, or actually stop, and then actually with the volumes of viruses, codes, flus, anything like that will actually be able to attack that immune system and stop it from functioning properly. And this is the worst thing we could do. We can get everybody back to the same ways. I'm telling you, we're going to be in lockdown again in the next 10 months, or the next couple months. Believe it or not, I bet you we're going to be in lockdown, but again before September, guaranteed. The reason, right, they want to give people three different vaccines a year now. Apparently in the 95%, 90% effective, which is great. It's great. But also they comes with symptoms. And if you've got symptoms, it comes with the COVID vaccines in the first place. And they say you're going to the pubs and you're drinking alcohol. What's that going to do to your immune system? It's going to shut your immune system down, which is your defense mechanism from these viruses in the first place. So I don't think the government know what the bloody hell they're doing at the moment. They're taking us from pillar to post to post to pillar to pillar to post. We're going backwards and forwards. We need a proper strategy out of this. We need to stop people from drinking alcohol completely for several months, probably 10 months at the most, just so we could try and get people's immune systems working functionally, and that way we don't have to rely on the medicines as much. I mean, the immune system is absolutely vital. We can actually fight this infections. If it wasn't for the alcohol, if it wasn't for the drinks, if it wasn't for putting substances in your body in the first place, the human body and the immune system would work properly by itself, by taking vitamins and minerals like vitamin D, vitamin C, vitamin B12, which is good for you as well. Stops you getting tired and fatigued and stuff. Need some good decent iron in your body and all that. And also when you're eating meats as well, that's actually going to be putting an impact on you as well. Because think how much, right, when the animals get killed, right, and then they get turned into meats, how much of that bacteria is going into your body, which is actually creating these bad bacteria in the first place. I mean, I've actually, I don't eat meats. I'm vegan myself. I've been vegan for God, as long as I can remember. It's 2016. Yeah, 2016. But we do need a strategy out of it, and we need a more precise strategy, to be precise about it. And we're not going to get that precise strategy with Boris Johnson saying, look, right, we'll open up the pubs. Yeah, good, great. Open the pubs, and then we'll be back in it. Apparently there's a third wave coming now. I think it's in Spain that I've heard. I think it's in Spain. And apparently they said if it's in Spain, it means it could come here. And now we're all on about people moaning because they want to go on holiday and shit. Well, do you realise that we could end up actually getting more people dying because of this if we don't play it right? So, guys and girls, just protect yourself. And then we've got these idiots doing protests and all that over the last couple of weeks, and yesterday doing protests on Saturday. I mean, this is just bloody ridiculous. If you guys and girls want to go out and protest, right, and you've got no masks on, and then you go end up getting this virus in the fucking first place, it's your own fault. But don't start like sort of whining and crying about it when you say, "Oh, now I'm in hospital now," and then you're putting the NHS, the National Health Service, at risk because of it, and then all these poor doctors and nurses have to actually attend to you guys and girls for getting yourself in that in the first place. But just realise, keep yourself safe. If you want the virus vaccine, do have it. But realise if you do go into a pub, realise your immune system is so important that whatever you drink in alcohol wise, it's going to be double the time, triple the time before the alcohol is processed through your liver. And whilst your liver is processing all this, right, all these like chemicals in your body, right, you're putting an impact on your immune system. That's all I'm going to say. But anyway, guys and girls, stay safe, and I'll see you on the next episode.